And we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Niki Lopez of Niki Lopez Creative, and you're watching The Circle, where every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm talking to artists, activists, social entrepreneurs, people doing great things in the world today. And today I have a very special guest, Anne-Marie Sorrell. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Nikki, for having me. I am such a fan of yours. Like, you are incredible, is what I can say.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, the feeling is mutual. I love all the stuff that you're doing and all the things that you're into. So, I'm definitely a fan of you and your work and the stuff that you do.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So we're going to jump right into it. So Anne-Marie Sorrell is the CEO of the Mosaic Group, a social architect and entrepreneur. That's just the shortest list possible because you have a laundry list of things. So, that's really amazing how you keep it all seamless and keep just growing and putting things out there.
Yeah. It's definitely been the journey. I don't even know how I do it every day, honestly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just do.
You do it amazingly. So just jump right into it. So, what was your start? How did you start your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh man, so the quick of it is I tell when I used to teach at Palm Beach State College and I taught business students, I tell them the story how I started as an entrepreneur at the age of 11 because of my mom, and we would sell clothes to the farm workers who would come up and cut sugarcane out in Pahokee, out in the Glaze area. And so my mom actually gave my brother and my two sisters and I some money, and we would go buy shirts and come back. And she said, okay, you're going to sell them. You're going to keep a portion for yourself to put in savings. You're going to go buy more, and then you can spend the rest on whatever you want to. And that's really how it started. And we did that. I was 11. I was the youngest of all of us. And we did that for probably at least 2-3 years until they stopped the farm workers from coming over. And then I started babysitting and then selling Rice Krispie treats and whatever else. I've been a hustler since like the age of 11. But exactly. So I always knew, like in high school and college, that I wanted to be a business owner. I just never knew doing what. And when I graduated and moved back to graduated from FAMU, moved back to Palm Beach County, I started, working in nonprofits, but more importantly, I started volunteering in the community and community events and charitable events, and really liked event planning. And so I started an event planning company, Upscale Events by Mosaic. And that's how this kind of all started. I quickly learned within about 6 months that the organizations we were working with needed marketing, they needed public relations. And so at the time, no other agency was doing all of it. So I said, well, let's be the one-stop shop for all things marketing, public relations, event planning, fundraising for charities. And that is literally how Mosaic was birthed. And then about a year into it, it was so much to explain what Upscale Events by Mosaic was and wasn't, that we just changed it to the Mosaic Group.
Awesome. And we're live in a couple of places. We are on Facebook Live under Niki Lopez Creative, as well as Outclick Magazine. We're also live on Periscope. There's a couple of people still out there, and YouTube Live. And so we do have some people. We have Andrew, the artist. Hello, y'all. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, everyone.
Sylvia Ames. Hello, Nikki and guests. Thank you for being here. And Valerie, amazing. And Scott Strawbridge. Hi, Nikki and Anne-Marie.
Hi, Scott.
Yeah. So what is it about entrepreneurialism that draws you in? Because some people, they just want to be able to get their job, punch in, punch out. What is it about that pulls you to do that type of work?
Oh man, it's having a vision. Well, first of all, it's seeing a problem or a pain point that needs to be solved. And then you have a vision for how you can create a solution to it and solve it. And then it's the creative process. It's the hunger, the drive, the excitement of creating something. And then once it actually comes to life, it's like, oh, okay, this is happening. And then when somebody actually then pays for it, then you're like, oh man, where
That
is
part,
this? And that's when you realize, like, oh man, this thing, this vision, this pain point, this problem that I'm solving, actually there's a need for it and people actually want to buy it. And so that is the driver for me, as that's one aspect of it anyways, but that's definitely the big driver for at least jump starting it. But then it's the long-term opportunities and impact that you can make. Is it something, are you doing something that's going to change a life? Are you creating jobs? Are you able to now contribute back to the community in a philanthropic way? So all of those things for me are the drivers for entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we have he's asking, how did the mosaic come about?
Yeah, so I do love the arts and I love colors. And one of the things that when I started the company, I didn't want to be boxed into saying, okay, that's the Black company and they only do Black things and they only do, because we're event planning, or they only do Black events or whatever. I wanted to create a company that was diverse, that was inclusive, that that was out of the box. And when I thought about a mosaic and all of the shapes and elements and colors that mosaic brings together from an artistic standpoint, I thought, what perfect company that brings people and places and events and opportunities and connections together. And so that's really how Mosaic, the name, came about. And then I bashfully was watching the first, I say this now, it was so long ago, I was also watching the first season of The Apprentice. And one of the winning groups was with Kwame, the Black guy. Their group name was Mosaic. So for me, it was like, oh, that's confirmation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I won't say whose show The Apprentice was. Y'all have to look that up.
No problem. So, since we're on Mosaic, what exactly, if no one has heard about that business, what does Mosaic do? What type of services does it provide?
Yeah, so we're a full service advertising, marketing, public relations, community engagement firm. And what does that mean? So all things, if you need a new brand, website, content, messaging, if you need to now that you have all that, how do you reach the people? Everything is customized. So there's no cookie cut solution. We sit and we create a strategy for every single client, and we customize that strategy for them for short-term and long-term marketing. If it's a grassroots initiative or if it's a traditional advertising initiative, we employ all of it, in addition to digital, which is, huge right now. So all of your marketing needs, if you think it, we're your one-stop shop for it.
Awesome. And I did, if everyone saw on the ticker, we have, if you want to find out more and connect with the Mosaic Group, the website is mosaicgroup.co. So I'll put that back in the chat and I'll put it in the comment section as well. So definitely check them out. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're everywhere. So, and I think, we can kind of get into why I want to say congratulations, because I know the Mosaic Group is going to be doing something with the new LA Lee YMCA, the Mizell Center.
Yes. I'm so excited. We just finalized Y Connect at Mosaic Co-work. And for those who don't know, I started Mosaic Co-work as an additional line of business for the Mosaic Group about 3+ years ago, 2017 in West Palm Beach. So we'll be expanding our co-working space to Broward County at the new LA Lee Mizell Center on Sistrunk Boulevard. I'm so excited because I've been working in the Sistrunk community, historic Sistrunk community, since 2012. And particularly my agency helped rebrand the Fort Lauderdale Village District and historic Sistrunk in 2016 and 17. Mm-hmm. And so to now come full circle where we're part of this growth that we were there helping to create the excitement, the buzz, and now to come full circle and be able to set up shop where we're going to have affordable sharing workspace for those entrepreneurs and professionals that are looking for, especially now if you're working in a remote climate, this is going to be the perfect place for you to come and have a desk and a space for you to work and gather, and also take advantage of all the benefits that the YMCA itself has to offer. You can't go any place else and be able to go work and enjoy cafe and food and then go get a workout and get involved in community initiatives and, take classes at Broward College. There's nowhere else in Broward County that you'll be able to do that, but at the Y. So we're calling it the Y Connect at Mosaic Co-work. So we're super excited about it.
Awesome. Yes, saying yay. So I think because I've seen you and heard you, but I think the first time I remember meeting you because we were working with the Northwest with the Housing Authority at the Northwest Gardens, and so now it's just coming into this. So it's just I think it's going to be amazing.
Yes. So it's an ecosystem that we want to create. So it's not just about space, right? It's really about connecting the dots between the YMCA, Broward College, and all the other partner organizations, Career Source, and all those organizations. So whether you're looking to continue your education or you're looking to start a company, we're going to help be that conduit and that navigator in the space. But in addition to that, we're going to restart some of the things that we had launched through the CRA, including like startup programs and pitch competitions and accelerator programs. All those things we're going to be bringing into the YMCA at Y Connect. So we're super excited about that.
Awesome. Roosevelt. Roosevelt, thank you. So I know that you and your business, the work that you do revolves a lot about around empowerment and economic development. Why is that important to you?
Oh, man. So as I stated, I grew up in Pahokee. And for those who don't know, Pahokee is a very small town, Western Palm Beach County. It is unfortunately categorized as one of the most impoverished areas in the state of Florida. Now, that doesn't mean that greatness can't come from an impoverished area. However, it does mean that more economic development needs to be done in areas like Pahokee and other areas like Sistrunk, right? So for me, I think economics is everything. We can vote, very important. We can protest, very important. But until we have our economics in order, housing, business ownership, investments, and so many other pieces to that puzzle, education, until we have all of that in order, until we're thriving in all of those areas, we still have a long ways to go. So for me, it's super important to put economic development at the forefront of everything I do. And the fact that I'm able to do that on a daily basis through my work by working with CRAs, working with cities, working with housing authorities and other organizations that are a major part of this economic development system. I see every day why it's necessary. I'm on the ground every day, not just marketing and educating people about these initiatives, but I see why it's needed. And so we have a long ways to go, a lot of work to do. And that's why I build it into my business. I build it into new businesses that I start because it's all about economic empowerment.
Maybe could have been sometime in the summertime, and I caught live that you were on Facebook, and it was like this youth entrepreneur group that you were like, helping them out and giving them advice on business and things like that. So I thought that was pretty amazing. I can't remember the name of the group, but
well, I'm on the board for Nifty.
Okay.
And with Nifty, and I actually just became a new board member, but I've been a coach for them, and it's all about training youth around entrepreneurship. So I am like, when it comes to entrepreneurship, because I know how important it is, and entrepreneurship doesn't mean that you have to quit your day job, right? You can be an entrepreneur and create a business that works for you and create a second income, because that's going to help you. That other income is now going to help propel you with other things that you need, whether it's going to continue your education or buying your first home or your second home or buying an investment property or investing in real estate or stocks or whatever. That extra income gives you the leverage to do those things. So I am a strong supporter of entrepreneurs, the youth entrepreneurs especially, because I think it's important for our youth to start thinking about ownership at a very young age and not wait until, they're adults. Why? They're creative now.
Absolutely. That need that information. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a quick comment from Facebook, Valerie, making me want to move out that way. So needed in the community.
Yeah, definitely. Well, come on, Valerie.
She's amazing. She's a singer. She has an amazing voice. So, and there's things for her, to do. So I know that she could get things from the community and give things to the community. So,
Well, it's there's definitely plans, and it was already underway before COVID for a entertainment district on Sistrunk Boulevard. So, Valerie, you might be on to something.
Absolutely. A lot of things that's going to be happening. I mean, there's things happening now, but I think it's so refreshing because you do have concerns of some of the types of business that's going into Sistrunk. There's gentrification happening, but there's a rich history. So I think one of the things that I love about the Y is this intention to really uplift the community and build community, bringing the right people that's going to connect and that's going to build, that's going to mentor, and that's going to empower those around them and network and just builds on that. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's also going to be a entertainment, black box theater, and then of course all the regular things with the Y, like the pool and things like that. So I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, I think I love the Y's intention, and it's so important to preserve the history of communities like historic Sistrunk or communities like historic Overtown. Development is great, right? It helps improve everything. However, you can't have development and forget about the people who live there. You can't have development and not also create opportunity for people who live in the community. And so I think that's where I've always stood. And so even with us coming in, it's like, okay, what are we going to do for the people in the community? How do we empower those within the community who may say, I want to start a business, but I don't know how to, I don't know where to start. Well, come over here. Let us show you. Let us make that happen for you. Right. So I think that's true empowerment.
Absolutely. I think there's a Bible quote, like you give someone a fish, you feed them for the day, but if you teach them how to fish, they can feed themselves. So
totally.
Something like that. I'm not a church person, but it's something like that.
Don't get me to quoting the wrong quotes in the Bible either.
Somewhere in there. Between Genesis and Revelations is
something about fishing and teaching you.
Yeah, absolutely. Valerie is saying that. Thank you. And thank you, Anne-Marie. Absolutely.
You're welcome.
So one of the things I saw when I was reading a little bit further, it says social architect. And I wanted to know, what does that term mean to you? And how do you put that into practice with your business or what you do in the community?
Yeah. So, man. Well, Niki, like I know, there's so many social justice and so many social issues that we can work on. Everything from healthcare, economic development, housing, education. It's a lot. Criminal justice, police brutality, you name it. and there's racism. There's so many issues out there. And so I have narrowed it down to the things that are super, super important to me. Women, girls, health and wellness, now the environment for sure, and economic development. So when I'm looking at, as a business, every day, my business, we don't necessarily promote a lot of products or, your best water. We literally promote these social movements in the community, right? We're creating awareness about opportunities that exist for people. We're creating awareness about how to improve your health, how to get better education, whatever it is. So that's what I do on my day-to-day work in my business with Mosaic. But then on the philanthropic side, I'm supporting organizations that align with that mission. And creating initiatives. So the architect side is creating an initiative like Black Girl Magic Florida, creating an initiative like Black Business Loop, which is an online resource, and you can go there and post your business for free, post your event for free on Black Business Loop. It's also creating, which we celebrated and hosted our 10th annual National Black Economic Conference this past August, and it was all done virtually. We had 50 plus speakers from around the country, even as far as Ghana, speaking at our conference. So it's architecting those types of initiatives that are here. Is not to just help me, right? These are questions, and I always create these things out of curiosity. If I want to know, I figure somebody else want to know too, right? So I create these initiatives as empowerment tools for our community. I do it as a labor of love, but I know it's necessary, right? And if you don't do what you do with the circle, if I don't do what I do with these empowerment movements, then who else, right? We all have to step up to the plate and give back. And that's how I do that in my way. And that's what I define being a social architect. If it's not there, I create it.
I love that, if it's not there, create it. But I also love when you mention about you have a curiosity. So if you have a curiosity, there's other people, there's millions of people in the world. So, and I think sometimes when people are like, what can I do? What can I do? Where do I start? That's some place that someone could start to say, what am I curious about? And see who else is curious about those things as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's that you have to have something within you that drives you. And every, they're just in Palm Beach County where I live, there's over 3,000 charities. So no, every single charity is not going to pull at my heartstring. I'm not going to relate to every single one, but the ones that I know, the different issues that I know that I've either experienced personally or that people in my family have experienced, those are things, or people in my close community has experienced, those are things that tug at my heartstring, and those are the places that I feel that I can impact change. And I think if each person looked at their own personal life like that and said, okay, this tugs at me, or this is how I feel like I can contribute to impact and change in this area, then you just jump on in. Either you collaborate with someone who's already working on that, or you start it. If you don't see it, start it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Scott, I love seeing you two together. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
And Valerie, so grateful for you, amazing women. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What are some of your current business endeavors that you're doing? Because I know you mentioned a few of them. Are there any other ones that you might have not mentioned? I know there's like a list, but I'd love to.
Right, so you heard of we got Mosaic Group, we got Mosaic Co-work, which kind of goes together. So recently on 420, we started. I started with several other founding partners, team members, Cannabiziac, and Cannabiziac is a global cannabis ecosystem where we have an accelerator, accelerator co-working community, but we're so much more than that. We've become so much more than that in such a short period of time. We host 4 events a month. So if you're interested in either starting a cannabis business or learning about the cannabis industry, if you have a cannabis business and want to connect with others in the industry to grow that business, or if you're a professional, you may not be an entrepreneur, right? And you're looking to actually learn what job opportunities and professional opportunities are in the cannabis industry, then Cannabiziac is the place for you to come and learn and join. We actually have an event this coming Friday with author Kristen Velasco, who wrote the book, the Cannabis Basics textbook. And so we have a Book of the Month club, where we feature an author and they come and speak about the book and their journey. Once a month, we have our Hemp Happy Hour, and we have a Cannabiziac University webinar series. So it's really about education and making sure people can enter this space the right way. So every state is different. And then we're working in a few countries, which is why we're global ecosystem. So that's the latest venture that I just started recently, and I'm so excited about how it's growing and the opportunity. So cannabiziac.com. And lastly, really just, I'm an author. So I have a book, Chronicles of a Serial Dater. My dating and relationship woes. And and I also do different speaking engagements and webinars and trainings on marketing and small business management and entrepreneurship. And then I also do talks on dating and relationships. So those are my business ventures.
That's awesome. And so on the bottom of the ticker, I have the website, AnnMarieSorrell.com. Definitely go to the Mosaic Group, go to Anne Marie Sorrell, get some more information. Definitely get connected to her, get information, buy the book, get involved. Absolutely. I'm trying to see where I was at.
Oh, no problem. Well, thank you so much for the plug and the opportunity, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, with all of those things going on, I am so curious, like, do you have any self-care practices or rituals that you do? Is that important to you?
Oh, God, it's so important. I am getting better at it. One of the pieces of advice that I gave to one of my former employees, who's now an entrepreneur herself, I was like, please take time to take care of yourself, take time to travel, take time to do, things that you want to do in your personal life, because I so neglected a lot of that for so many years. And I still do in a sense, right? But one of the things that I do, and I just started back doing because of COVID, I had cut my massage schedule. So I just started recently doing it again, but I do a massage every 2 weeks. Period, point blank. I get a 90-minute massage, CBD oil, every 2 weeks. So that's one thing. On a daily basis, I do try to, in the morning, get some fresh air. I started planting some plants, so go try and water those. And I'm a plant mom. I'm not the best plant mom though, guys. I don't have a green thumb. You have to work with me on that.
I think I could kill a cactus. So I'm afraid.
This girl right here, let me tell you what's thriving. Turmeric, aloe, and my sweet potatoes. Those are thriving. Everything else has just been either the seeds has not grown or they've died, and I'm blaming it on the water.
I have one aloe plant in my apartment that someone gave me randomly for my birthday 2 years ago, and it survived. I'm like, you still here?
Aloe will survive, but it is cactus-like, so
there might be hope. My grandmother was a green thumb. She planted fruits and vegetables and flowers.
Yeah. My mom's great at it. She's like, well, I'll just come over and nourish them. And I'm like, I got to do this on my own, Mom. This is I'm plant mommy here. But but no, so definitely, fresh air. I try to walk every night and get some fresh air, because been working on Zoom. It's been Zoom all day long. So going out and walking. And then I've been learning how to meditate. I just started learning yoga, working out, stretching. So it's really getting all of that in, and then really finding time to talk to the people who you love. Every Sunday we have a family Zoom with my mom and my siblings, religiously. I don't care. My mom has 8 of us. So if all 8 gets on, which it hasn't happened yet, it'd be a miracle. But we get about 7 sometimes, right? But the point is that if you can get on, you get on. And, that's my happy place on Sunday night, is where, we have our family Zoom. And, just trying to get out and see family every now and then in the most safest way possible. Try to keep them safe, because I'm a little more out than everybody else at times. Not a lot, but, So, but yeah, the massages, meditation. Oh, I do my own facials, nice bath, all of that. And then just read, I do Audible. So getting really positive books that are not always about business. Really good. I'm reading some on different spiritual books, and so it's just you got to get some variety.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you're doing all that, because that's just something I've also personally been struggling with or getting to know. I mean, if you asked me like 3 years ago what self-love, self-care, I'm like, what? you know, so I love that I do a virtual yoga with Alana on Sundays. And I actually just started with some of my siblings on my mom's side. We have a Zoom that we're doing Sunday afternoon, and it just kind of kept check in with each other. And sometimes we give like, okay, what's one thing we want to be held accountable for the next call, and
Yeah.
so we do that. So
No, that's a beautiful thing. Oh, and I forgot to mention nature. The beach is my happy place.
yes.
Every now and then when I'm able to go over to Pahokee and sit on the Lake Okeechobee. And one of the things that I want to definitely start doing more of, I was thinking about it this week, is getting out in South Florida to our nature trails. And we have beautiful trails and pathways and different preserves and things in South Florida that we don't even take advantage of.
Yeah.
So really getting out and doing some of that where it's not super crowded, but you're able to really become, one with nature. I think that's super important, especially in the environment that we're in.
Yeah. And I think also too, because you do so much, I mean, even if you didn't do so much, self-care is so important, but because you do so much, it's just like that part that fills you up and just like keeps you grounded and get you ready for the rest of your day and the rest of what you got to do and accomplish. I think that's a great thing to have.
It's important, Nikki, and I'm sure you can relate to this, and all the women and men out there, but I know women in particular because we're such givers of ourselves, right? We're giving to everyone all the time, through our work, through our family, through just advice, picking your brain, whatever, right? And so by the end of the day, we're super drained. I know I am. I'm super drained by the end of the day. So I've been having to find, and especially where I'm not. And it was one thing when I was out driving from meeting to meeting and I had that time to break up the day and, do different things and maybe stop and get something to eat. But now it's like I'm just from one room to the next, right? Mm-hmm. So it's very draining, mentally draining. Sometimes it's emotional. The work we do in the community is emotionally draining. I don't think people understand how, doing this community work, even from a marketing standpoint, you're taking it all home with you at the end of the day, or I'm at home already, so I'm just leaving it with me, right? So it's emotionally draining as well to have to deal with the cares of the world and your personal life and give to so many on a regular basis. So it's very important that, you touch base with nature, you take that time to breathe, you get that massage, you do that home facial, keep that skin glowing. Whatever you gotta do, take the time to just shut off the computer. I go sit in the back for a little bit every evening now and just no computer, no phone. I just sit there for like 10, 15 minutes. So it's really important to just take that time, guys. I've had to learn the hard way. When you start going to the doctor, like, why your blood pressure elevated every time you come here? You want to be on some blood pressure meds? No, I don't want those meds. So let me do what I need to do and make some changes in my life,
That's awesome. That's awesome. If you had access to a time machine, where would you go? Past or the future, and why?
Who? Access to a time machine. I think I would go to the future. I think the past sometimes we relived that already in our minds, and sometimes it's already hard letting go of the past. So I would want to propel into the future and see what the great minds after us are coming up with and how the world is going to function post-COVID and post, with all this, what's the new technology beyond what we're even thinking right now is what I'd want to see, and see how the world has adjusted to all of it and how people have evolved and adjusted to all of it. That's where I'd want to just kind of look around and be like, oh man, y'all out of this world for real.
That's an amazing answer. Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be past racism. And
I was thinking that. I was just like, do I throw it in?
And everything else.
But yeah, hopefully that we're past that, because then it's just like, okay, what we're doing is not in vain. What's been happening all these years is not in vain. So
Yeah. Hopefully, Black people won't be, and other minorities, but particularly Black folks, will not be the ones suffering the most from all the health issues and all of the systemic issues. And, hopefully we will have risen above all of that, and we will be working in terms of equity that we're fighting so hard for right now. And we'll just live in a world where we're all just thriving, So that's what I want to see in the future. That's what I fast forward to.
Absolutely. All of those things. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, I guess there was a comment from what you were saying earlier. Valerie said, saying we're mostly inherent caregivers and tend to neglect self. Wow. So true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. I think that's definitely something that's been on my radar, and I try to push myself and remind myself, because we think like, oh yeah, as long as we're giving, it's great, and it's just like, no, we have to fill our cups first.
Yeah.
And we could serve people better, we have more energy for all these things, and it shows a better example for others coming up behind us to be like, oh, okay, let me be selfish so I could be full and have enough of me to share with the world.
Yeah, I think the other piece that so many of us are missing, and I can only say this from experience, and I'm so happy you created the circle, and I know it's a virtual circle, but I think that a lot of us, especially during this time of COVID, we're missing a circle. We're missing a sister circle that is not necessarily about work or networking, but just the self-care part of it, where we're really just checking in on each other from a self-care standpoint. And I know that, a lot of my friends are they're far away. They're in other states. I have a couple of really close friends that are local. But that sister circle is one of the things that I've realized recently, that it's like, you're not as connected to your sisters, whether it's your blood sisters or your friends, as you should be, as you need to be, as a part of your self-care. And they're probably feeling the same. When you call once in a while and you catch up is great, but there's no consistent connecting that's happening in my life. I don't know about yours. And
no, I feel that. I think last year I'm always working, and then my friends happen to be the people that I work with. So it's just like, where's that separation of state and having that space? You have to have all of these spaces. And so I'm actually working on being a little bit more intentional with that, and just calling to say, hey, how you doing? I'm going to put a filter and be silly or something, so.
Yeah. I think we all have to make a very conscious effort. And I'm speaking for myself, because I realized that, as I have my struggles, right? I think we all have, we're so good sometimes during the day, and then that Friday or Saturday night, it'd be like, oh my God, what happened? Where's my life? And what am I doing? Is this really worth all of it, right? But then you realize some of the things that you're missing. And I know for me, it's that consistent sister circle, to really just touch base personally, get rid of all the work stuff. Just really, how are you doing? How are you really doing? I think we're missing that element for sure.
Yeah, because people ask me, how am I doing? I rattle off my projects and my deadlines. So, yeah. I need that too. I need it.
Listen, I'm gonna put it your way. Okay, so this would be our pack, that when we call each other, Niki, we're not going to rattle off work and deadlines. We really want to know how we are doing for real, how we're doing mentally, emotionally, spiritually. How are we doing? And we have to make time to do that check-in.
Absolutely. So. Yes. I accept the challenge. I look forward to, absolutely. So we have Valerie agreeing. Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
Valerie felt that too.
Yeah. I've known Valerie, oh my God, we go so way back, like probably at least 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's someone definitely from my childhood and always just so giving and just a beautiful person. So I'm just glad I don't have people around me that she's in another state, you know.
Yeah.
So it's nice I love the fact that she's on a lot of times in the circle. I really appreciate that. And just, having her, even though it's far away. So.
Yeah, well, listen, friends like Valerie are amazing, and I have some amazing friends that are near and far, and so it's always great to be able to check in and see that they're being your cheerleader and they have your back. That's amazing. So kudos, Valerie. But yeah, so I hope you're not rattling off when you talk to Valerie your to-do list.
Sometimes. Well, she might get some of my personal dramas.
Okay, good. Listen, we all need somebody to get that personal drama, okay?
Let me fill you in.
We all need that a couple of those people to get the personal drama, because they're the ones that keep us grounded. They're the ones that allow us to release that energy.
Absolutely. It's nice because sometimes I think, and maybe you could relate, when we're out there and people see us in a certain way in space, like there's some parts of us that they don't feel that functions like normal humans, so we have down times and all these things and dramas and you can't always put it out there. I'm not a Facebook person, so it's nice to have that.
You can't. There are some days where I would love to just post my heart out, and then I have to realize, like, but what I will say is that no, you don't have to put all your business out in the street. But I do like the fact that not everybody, but I do have some great social media friends that do allow me to be very authentic and transparent. And I try to do that as much as possible, because I think that when you are transparent, and there's so many people who can relate to you, and you're saying it, they may not be saying it, but they're feeling it, and they may not be as outward to say it and communicate it as we may be. So on my non-business lives, which I haven't done in a while, I haven't done much non-business or non-political ones. But after the election, I'm going to go back to doing my pajama juice jam. That was a space. That was a space where I think people were able to be transparent themselves when they tuned into the conversation. And it was authentic and it was real. I was laying in my bed, just having a conversation. And it wasn't about spilling my business, because a lot of times folks will just take the conversation away and we'll just be talking about whatever. But I think us being able to have some of social media being an outlet is still a good thing. But I think also having that close circle of compadres is super important to spill your heart out to, and they're not going to judge you, and they're going to love you and embrace you, and just love on you, right? We need that. I think that's with the digital world before COVID, and now with COVID, it's just even more disconnected, for us. So.
Gotta say, both of you guys have helped me stay connected during these distant times. It's great to hear your laughter. It's making me smile. Aw.
Oh, Scott, we love you.
Yes, absolutely, we do. And we have Steven from Outclick. That's where one of the places we're live at, saying hello.
Hi, Steven.
Thank you for all the work you do, and keep the conversation going. Absolutely.
Thank you. Absolutely. People like Scott, oh my God. I mean, I met Scott probably 5 or so years ago. Such a big heart. Such a amazing person who really wants the best for the community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hands down. So, Scott, you're my buddy. I love you to pieces. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep connecting folks. Keep creating opportunities. Keep doing the work that you do. Thank you.
Keep being you. I second all of those things. Absolutely.
The Scott Love Fest.
Yeah, I love this. Yeah, like, are we talking about? But it's all good.
It all ties together, because that's how we met. We met through Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm very excited to, what we're doing now. Oh, he said, I love you. Love you, Scott. We're having way too much fun. Oh man. So yeah, so this has just been so wonderful. I know, like you mentioned, it was like a year. We've been trying to hopefully get you on here. I'm so excited that we got the time to connect a little. And I know some of the work that you do, but I also learned a lot of things today as well. So I just love exploring that and seeing the other sides and the other parts that we don't see. And I just thank you so much for sharing that with us.
No, you're welcome. And anytime, well, let me not say anytime because we've been trying for a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to schedule another time. But no, I appreciate you having me on the circle. And I definitely have to have you on Tea with Anne-Marie, which I do on Fridays. So we got to book you because, Niki, I can say that your artistry, and it's so many levels of your artistry, from the physical artwork that you do to the media that you produce to the connections that you make for people in the art community. I've seen you thrive. What's Your Elephant? What an amazing initiative, right? So, and I know this is not about you right now, but it is. I've seen you grow and thrive over the past 4 or 5 years that I've known you. And I'm just amazed. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a fan of yours. I continue to watch you. I continue to, even if I'm not saying anything, I'm cheering in the background, like, go, Niki, go, Niki, go. So anything I can do to support you and the work that you're doing in the community. And I know we're going to be working together on Sistrunk with the Y. So I know that's already going to happen. So I'm really excited about this journey that who knew how many years ago when we met, that we, be able to come full circle and be able to now work on some initiatives together again in the coming months. So people look out, because the two of us together, we gonna get in good trouble.
Good trouble. I got goosebumps for that. Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward. I love the work that you're doing. I love how you're doing it. I love, your messaging and everything like that. And I'm so excited for you to be at the Y and for you to be in Sistrunk. And, I just know what you could give the community, and you're going to give everyone there that's going to be touched by you. So I'm just really excited. And, and I know we'll definitely work together and do some things together. So I'm definitely excited and honored about that. So.
Yeah, and I just want those who in the community know that we're coming. Well, we've been there, so we're not coming. We've been there, and what we're creating is yours. Mm-hmm. It's not Mosaic's. It's not mine. It's yours. It's the community, and I think that's so important for people to feel like this is something they're going to be able to be a part of. Mm-hmm. And that's when I talked to Scott about it. I was like, Scott, you don't understand how this situation that we're creating is a manifestation of something I visualized several years back. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to have the vehicle to do it, what we're going to be doing, and I don't have all the answers to it yet, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be building on this canvas. We're going to take this canvas and we're going to make it beautiful.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
So it's our work that we're going to do together, in order for it to be really successful and to really make an impact. So
absolutely. Scott said, who knew? You knew, Scott. You knew. He's like, I got a plan.
What is Outclick? I'm going to have to take a look.
They're LGBTQA magazine. They're a media company. They have Facebook. They have a monthly magazine, and it's not only LGBT stories, but it is predominantly in the LGBT community. Stephen, he's sharing a link because I was the feature in June. And so he's sharing that. Thank you so much. He said, we love having you. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So, he reached out. He saw one of the lives and he's like, hey, tell me more about it. And I said, this is what it is. I said, I'm LGBT. Not all of my guests are, but I feel that we need those inclusive spaces. And he was just like, absolutely, please, let's, share it on our pages. So I've been here since COVID. And it's just kind of one of those things. I had to pivot. People used to come here and I had to figure out a way to do it virtually because I felt like I can't miss a week of the circle, And so I'm just really grateful to have that extra space, extra audience to kind of, share the work with all the people that I know that's doing great stuff.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to check out. So you're on the cover? He says cover girl.
Yeah.
What? I'm on here with I knew I was with a celebrity, but dang.
And I sent a photographer to my home and shot me and, so yeah, it was really, I could say I have a couple of the magazines. I could mail you out one.
Yes, please hold on. Let me save these links real quick because I want to share them on my social media page. I told you were awesome. I don't think so. I got to make sure the people that I know that may not know you know you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we'll make sure we do that. I'm going to share that tonight. Thank you, Stephen, for sharing those links of the fabulous, phenomenal Niki Lopez.
Thank you so much. So, oh my God, this is just such a pleasure to be talking with you and chopping it up and sharing. It's just like I'm like, oh wait, we way past the half an hour, but it's all good. Oh, I see Steven saying beauty. Thanks. So, again, we're talking with Anne-Marie Sorrell. She has a list of things that she does. She's just an amazing powerhouse. She's the CEO of the Mosaic Group. She's going to be starting a co-working space at the new LA Lee YMCA in the Sistrunk neighborhood in downtown Fort Lauderdale. There's a lot of things that you got to go to get to know her. I put her website, annemariesarl.com. Also, you'll find her on Instagram. If you look up Anne-Marie Sorrell, if you look up the Mosaic Group, you will find that I put links to it in the chat. So definitely look back at that and get connected. See what she's up to. So thank you. I know, guys, we went a little over, but it's all love, it's all energy. Everybody was vibing with us, so I'm here as long as everyone else is here. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing, all the things that you're doing. You're definitely a jewel in South Florida world. So thanks again for coming. The people that's been online with us, thank you for being here. Thanks for all the comments, the questions. Please share this with your community. There's a 11-year-old girl that says, I want to do something. She needs to hear about Anne-Marie that's been doing businesses since 11. So definitely hear that, because you never know who you're going to impact. I'm just going to take this one last comment. Oh, this was so much fun. Thank you for sharing yourself and gifts. We'll definitely look up Anne-Marie. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So, for those who are going to watch it on the replay, thank you so much. Please share it. Have comments. This is now a podcast. So in a couple of days, you can find this conversation on Spotify, on iTunes, Google Plus, all your favorite, all the great podcast spaces. You could watch it. So it's Facebook, YouTube, podcast. If you want to, this project is being brought to you by Niki Lopez Creative and What's Your Elephant. So What's Your Elephant is a movement that creates a safe space to talk about anything unspoken. So if you want to find out more about what I do, you could go to what'syourelephant.org. You could also go to Linktree/Niki Lopez. And, final words from you.
Listen, I will just say to your listeners, thank you for tuning in. Again, follow me, but more importantly, stay encouraged, stay positive during this time. Self-care, again, is important. Connect with your friends, connect with your families. I think we all got to continue to do a better job at that. And then connect with someone who you haven't checked in with in a while. It'll definitely make a difference in their lives. And dream big, be bold, be authentic, be you.
Mm-hmm. Those are great. So with that, good night, everyone.
Night.